Hello, welcome to Gentle Yoga Level 1 with a focus on hands, wrists, and elbows. So we're going to begin in an upright seated position. If maintaining an upright seated position is challenging in a cross-legged pose, try an upright position using a chair. Let's begin. Feel yourself grounding down through both sit bones equally. Setting up your connection to a foundation, your ground. And from the sit bones, reach up and lengthen through the crown of your head. Create space between each vertebrae. Roll your shoulders up and back. Open and lift the heart center. We're just gonna take a moment of stillness. Chin is parallel to the mat. Close down your eyes. Bring your attention to the breath. Slow it down. Equalize the depth, duration, and volume of your inhale and your exhale breath. Expand 100% into the lungs capacity with the inhale. Feel the ribs expand and the chest rise. Slow, long exhale. Release any tension, stress. Equalize the depth, the duration, and the volume of the inhale and the exhale. Few more deep breaths. When you're ready, gently open the eyes if they were closed. Palms come together at the heart center. We're going to press down through the wrist, working the palms to press into the sternum, and the forearms parallel to your mat. Keep the shoulders down and back. A few deep breaths. I'm going to do a movement to breath, flow. Keep your palms pressing together. Take a deep exhale breath. Inhale, bring the palms up overhead. Exhale, palms back to the heart center. Fingertips flip forward. Inhale, arms extend away from the body. Exhale, back into the heart. I'm going to do this about 5 times. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Forward inhale. You can work to straighten the elbows. Back in towards the heart center. Exhale. 4 more times. Inhale up. Exhale center. Inhale out. Exhale center. 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale center. Inhale out. Exhale center. Last 2. Inhale up. Exhale center. Inhale out. Exhale center. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale center. Inhale out. Exhale center. Deep breath. Keep pressing down through the wrists. And release. Shake the wrists out. Next, we're going to stretch the fingers. Let's start with the left hand. The right hand grips left index finger and just pull down. You can keep the left arm straight. Try to stay with mindful breathing. Let's move on to left middle finger. Pull it down and in. Just feel a deep stretch to the top of the wrist. Move on to the ring finger. And next onto the pinky. Now we're going to flip the wrist so it is parallel to the side wall. Thumb up. Right hand grips left thumb and pull it back. Release. Next, we're going to tuck the left thumb into the palm and then wrap the 4 fingers around the thumb. We're going to stretch the top of the wrist. So lift the top of the wrist up to the ceiling. And you can pulse. Another 3, 2, 1. So let's do those finger stretches on the right hand. Extend the right hand. Let's have the palm flipped up to the ceiling. Left hand, grab right index finger, pull down and back, lift up through the inside of the elbow, through the wrist. Next, the right middle finger. Right ring finger. Right pinky. Release. Thumbs up. Left hand grips right thumb. Pull back. Next, stretching the inside, top of the wrist. We're going to tuck the thumb in. Wrap the forefingers around the thumb. And then lift up through the wrist and hold. You can do this inner wrist stretch. Sitting, the arms can be relaxed. But if we have the arm extended at shoulder height, you are getting shoulder strengthening, tricep and bicep strengthening as well. Next, we're going to move the wrist up and down. 3, 2, 1. Shake out the wrist. Next, we're going to interlace all 10 fingers. This is going to constrict the flow of the blood, squeezing the palms together. Once we release the interlocked fingers, fresh blood is going to flush through the joints of the fingers and help with arthritis. So palms touch, interlace the fingers to the webbing, and squeeze. If you want strengthening in the shoulders, the trapezius and deltoid muscles, extend your arms up overhead and try to move the triceps back behind the ears. Maybe release the index fingers. Release. Shake the hands out. Now we're going to do the awkward grip with the interlaced fingers. Squeeze, 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 palms to touch. Squeeze fingers to the webbing. Maybe shoulder strength, spine strength, arms up overhead. Triceps back by ears, work to straighten the elbows. Release the index fingers. Holding about 30 seconds. And release. Shake out the wrists. So if you're sitting on a chair, go ahead and move the chair. Get up from that position and we will meet on the mat in a tabletop pose. In tabletop pose, we're going to stack joints. So the shoulders above the wrists and the knees below the hips. And do some movements in the spine and some strengthening. Let's start with a deep stretch. This will stretch the shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Melting heart pose, walk the palms forward. Keep them hip, shoulder width apart. Sit bones lift up and back bend as you drop the chest and chin to your mat. Forehead to mat. Now the head is below the heart. Just be mindful that you don't get dizzy. For here, a few breaths. Release. Come back to tabletop. Take your time. Now we're going to twist spine, ground down through the right palm. Sweep the left arm behind the right wrist. Drop left shoulder, ear to mat. Stack the right elbow over the wrist and press down through the right palm to twist your spine. Deep breaths. Change. Next, inhale back to tabletop. We're going to do spinal twist on the other side. Ground down through the left palm. Thread the needle. Right arm sweeps behind the left wrist. Drop right shoulder, ear to mat. Stack left elbow over the wrist, pressing down through your left palm. Twist. And change. Come back to tabletop. Movement with the breath. Getting a full range of motion up the spine. Exhale your breath. Your inhale breath, cow pose. Drop the belly, arch the spine. Head tilts up. Compressing the vertebrae. As you exhale, cat pose, round the spine, tuck the tailbone and the chin, suck the belly up and in. We're going to do this movement 3 more times with breath. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Breathe in, table. So we're strengthening the wrists. Exhale, we side bend. Hip, shoulders to the right. U-shape in the spine, stretching intercostal muscles between the ribs. Breathe in, back to table. Breathe out, hip, shoulders to the left. We're going to do that again on each side. Inhale, table. Exhale, hip, shoulders to the right. Inhale, table. Exhale, hip, shoulders to the left. Come back to center. Next is spinal balancing. We're also going to be strengthening the wrists quite a bit at this position. We're going to start by extending the left leg back. Maybe you stay here or can up level and extend the right tricep by the ear. Pull the belly up and in towards the spine, and we hold 3 full breaths. Take a deep breath in, keep your left leg up, exhale, right palm back to the mat below the shoulder. Bend your left knee. Now we're going to strengthen the glutes and the low back. Flex your left foot and we're going to pulse foot to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. So doing that sequence on the other side, start by extending the right leg straight back. You can keep both palms on the mat or up level for spine strength. Left tricep by the ear, belly up in, hold 3 full breaths. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, left palm to the mat. We're going to bend the right knee, flex sole of foot, pulse it up to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Make your way onto your belly. So you can curl the toes under and lift up the knees. You're in a high plank position. Maybe you hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can drop the knees to the mat, lower the chest, and then straighten the legs. So the palms are pressing into the mat below the shoulders. Again, we're stretching, strengthening the wrists. Bring your ankles to touch, ground the tops of the feet, and with an inhale, come into cobra pose, lifting the head, chest, and shoulders. Squeeze elbows behind the ribs and hold. Keep breathing. A few more deep breaths. Take a deep breath in. Maybe you can lift up a little higher. And exhale, release, chin to mat. Arms extend close to the side body. Flip your palms down. Do your best to keep the hips grounded to the mat. And we're going to focus on strengthening low back, glutes. Exhale, prepare. And with the inhale, lift your right leg. Hold. Keep breathing, keep pressing down through the palms of the hands, stretching the wrists, the elbows. Couple more deep breaths. Lift a little higher as you inhale. Exhale, release. Other side, breathe in, lift the left leg and hold. Couple more breaths. Next inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, release. Extend your arms out to a T. This stretches the shoulders and the spine. Bend your left knee. Roll your body towards your right fingertips. Roll onto the right side of the body. Ground your left foot to the floor behind your right knee. If you want to take the stretch a little deeper, walk your right fingertips towards the crown of your head. Focus on a steady inhale, exhale breath. We're here for 30 seconds. Change, let's prepare for the other side. Come back onto the belly, legs together, arms extend out to a T. Bend the right knee, the low body towards left fingertips. Sole of right foot to the floor, right palm pressing into the mat. Maybe walk your left fingertips forward towards the crown of the head. Couple more deep breaths. Change, come back onto the belly. We're gonna do one more spine strengthening pose. This is called Sphinx. So you're propped up on the forearms, elbows a little bit in front of the shoulders, palms down. Shimmy your belly button forward to lengthen the lumbar spine. Press down through the forearms, wrists, and palms. Reach up through crown of head and relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Few more deep breaths. And release. We're gonna walk the palms in, bend the knees, and just come up into tabletop position. Curl the toes under and bring the hips back towards the heels. Couple more wrist stretches before we close the practice. Can you flip the top of the hand to the floor? Now, most of the weight's in the right palm, but start to work with bringing weight into the left wrist. And let's change. Ground left palm into the mat. Bring all your weight into that left palm. Flip the top of the right hand down, and then start to just work some weight into the top of the right hand, stretching the wrists. And come back to table. Now we're going to bring the fingertips out to the sides, wrists facing in. And if you can go a little deeper, start to bring the fingertips pointing towards the knees. And just kind of working the sit bones back to the heels. And just release. Bring your body into a seated position. Sit up tall on the spine. Maybe you come back to a chair. And just start to roll the shoulders. Little neck stretch before we close the practice. Allow the shoulders to settle. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lengthen in the spine. Reach up through crown of head. Drop your right ear to the right shoulder. Allow movement in the chin, your left shoulder. Feel a nice deep stretch. Left side of the neck, top of the shoulder. Couple more deep breaths. And release. Bring the head back to center. Neck stretch, other side, left ear, left shoulder. Maybe roll out the right, move the chin. And pause. We're here, 5 full breaths. Release. Bring head back up to center. Next, drop the chin to the chest. Feel a nice stretch. Both sides of the neck. Change, lift the head up. One more stretch. This stretches the wrists, shoulders, the elbows. Chest expansion. So work to interlace fingers behind the back. Once you have the fingers interlaced, try to straighten the elbows and lift your arms up. Squeeze palms to touch. Couple more breaths. Maybe you can lift the arms a little higher. And release, shake out the wrists. So let's seal our practice. Bring hands again to the heart center, thumbs pressed to sternum. Feel the heart beating, feel the rise and fall of the lungs. Heart and lungs pulse is mysterious, sustaining life in the body. Take a moment of gratitude. I invite you to consider thinking about the things that connect all of us. Three elementals that connect every single human being. Those three things are time, death, and love. One thing we all share is the air. So let's close the practice with a few deep, intentional breaths. Exhale all the air out. Deep breath in. Maybe an open mouth exhale as you let go. Two more. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, releasing tension, stress. Breathe in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Seal the lips, couple more deep breaths. Filling up with gratitude. Bowing the head, sealing the yoga practice. Namaste.